Sounds like that meeting took a lot out of you.
It's your turn to be the Game Master. How do you keep all the lore, monsters, and treasures straight? Introducing the Beetle and Grimm's Game Master's Journal. Start by choosing your cover art, add text to remind you why you play, then plan your adventures with over 200 pages for character backstory, encounters, session logs, and more. When the campaign is over, you'll have a record of your character's bravery, cowardice, or both. Probably both.
Hello, how are we doing, everybody?
Hello.
Badgers. I'm Dave.
Hello.
These are the players. How are we all? It's the end of another week.
It is.
Now and everyone goes quiet at that point.
It is.
And then, have you noticed that when I do this intro and I say it's the end of another week, it's like they look away, just look at the calendar and confirm. Yes, Dave, it's Friday. He's right, you know.
Yes. It is the end of another week.
He's cracked it. Every time he surprises us with that one. How was everyone?
All
what were you
7
drinking?
of the days. What's that?
Iced tea.
Beer.
Homemade.
Beer.
Rum.
Black coffee.
Beer,
Rum.
IPA.
IPA. Well done. Oh, that's a nice one. What is it, Josh?
It's Founders All Day IPA.
Here we go.
Oh, good.
So if
Pretty good.
Founders IPA, if you would like to sponsor Band of Badgers, please do
Yeah,
get
there
in
you go.
touch. We need refreshments.
That's right. Right. Otherwise, I'm gonna have to do that little trick where I try to palm the whole beer and
Starbucks,
Definitely.
Costa, Nero, all of you, I'm in.
That's right.
It does speak to the confidence of the brewer that they tell you it's an all-day beer.
Yes.
Yeah.
That would help.
From breakfast till bed.
Yeah.
IPA.
Dusk to dawn.
Is it
See,
Hat's Blue Ribbon? Is that the thing that's joked about a lot in the States?
PBR? Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I love a good PBR though. I'll drink PBR all day.
So this is why we need a little bit of let loose at the end of a week, because we can just de-stress, have a laugh, have a drink, and get freaky with it. So, we're live. Let's get freaky. So, how's everyone doing? We'll go around. Everyone do introductions. Is that okay?
Sure.
You know what to do. I'm giving Steve enough time to get on the banner bandwagon here. So we'll start with you with right. Let's try this on. Josh, who are you and where can people find you?
Oh, wow, I get to go first. Josh McGuire. You can find me at the McGuire Review on socials pretty much everywhere. Review tabletop gaming stuff. We've got RPGs and miniatures and lots of board games. And you can find me here on the Badgers, the Band of Badgers as well.
Cool.
That's me.
And what you're working on at the moment? What's your top secret project that you're not going to tell anyone apart from us?
So it's fine to release this. I can't release any stuff yet, but I think I can say this. I'm working right now with Awaken Realms on their new game Stalker. So if you remember the video game Stalker back in the day, the first person shooter, they're going to do a Kickstarter here coming up pretty soon based on that game. And it is Oh, I've said too much. I don't know. You'll have to see,
Okay.
right?
That's it. That's what I can say.
Awakened Realms are so good. I
Yeah.
mean, they obviously did Nemesis, they did Tainted Grail, and like
Yep.
since then have just snowballed their way through like amazing games. So that's awesome, dude.
Yeah. Stalker
Yeah,
is you're gonna want it.
We're going to be taking. You mentioned Nemesis. We're taking Nemesis to UK Games Expo to see
nice.
who we can terrify.
Nice.
Ian, who are you? Where can people find you?
Hi, I'm that guy that's in that new sensational show, Two Guys, One Cup. Which, if you're
Little
coming,
context.
if you're coming from OnlyFans, you're going to be so disappointed. Oh boy, is it getting steamy in the studio?
Yeah.
Not only did we go over some
We're in a bit of a
45
heat wave at the moment in the UK. That's why. Yeah.
Okay, so I'm the Dragonborn Bard, and I am the head wizard, the arcane magistrate of Dragonborn Industries. That is my my little slice of the internet where I make dice. I do some 3D printed miniatures. We're starting to go into board game reviews. We're finally starting to get streaming out there. Speaking of Nemesis, there should be a game of Nemesis being streamed very soon,
Cool.
which is going to be around the table, which I'm really looking forward to doing because I adore that game. And yeah, you know, I'm just kind of starting to try and get my finger into every pie in this amazing community. And yes, we just launched the 40K show. There's the D&D Monster Manual show, which I think Richard from Warrior Prince is now going to be joining me on every week.
Nice.
And hopefully I'm starting a Star Wars Legion painting show. And there's more to come. There's loads of it. So yeah, that one for the website and the merch, and then the rest of it's on socials. And you can find me here a lot at the Badgers.
See, that's exactly what happened to us. Though we start with one, and then suddenly, oh, we can do this, this, and this, and suddenly you just put the camera on, you hit stream, and have a beer, and weirdly, people join in.
It's quite fun.
Yeah.
And the first video got quite a lot of hits for Two Guys, One Cup, and I have no clue why. I don't
was the only fans.
Oh, it's just our shitty little paint show, and I don't see how that can be misconstrued in any way. So yeah.
So innocent.
Definitely.
Odd.
Lauren, who are you? Where can people find you?
Hello, I am Lauren and I play Shillin, and you can only find me here on Band of Badgers because I'm not on social media. It's all the more reason to tune in because this is the only way you see me.
It's really hard when we're trying to promote Band of Badgers
Yeah.
across social media. And not only is Lauren not there, but also Steve is nowhere to be found. They live off the grid, basically.
Yeah, I feel so bad every time as well because I obviously like try and put out as many like stories and stuff and tag you guys in them to like promote and stuff. But like, I feel bad leaving Lauren out. I'm like,
Oh, don't try.
yeah, I know, but like, I do.
Fine.
Like, he's such an important part of the show.
And we never worry about Steve anyway, so that's perfectly fine.
I know
Steve is like an AI construct.
Steve doesn't exist.
I don't.
He's not real.
No. He only lets me come out on Friday and Saturdays.
Yeah.
The rest of the time I'm in the dungeon.
See,
What
we're
guys
going back to
don't like the
OnlyFans. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, okay. Jeff, who are you? Where can people find you? And what is your interesting Badger fact this week?
Well, yes, as you quite
Did he
rightly say,
think of
my
one?
name is Jeff, and I play Flynn Hawkins in this game. You can find me on social media. I am on Instagram. If you search for, let me think about it for a second, Last Son JT. And if you flick me a follow, I will let you in. This week's interesting badger fact is quite a simple one. A male badger is called a boar, and a female badger is called a sow, and young badgers are called cubs. And there you go.
Cool. That's nice and straight. I think everyone can understand that one.
I have to do it.
Made a lot of sense.
If a male badger is called a boar, is the sex boring?
Not with me, it's not. Anyway.
I don't know, but Mrs. Badger likes to get drilled.
I was doing a play on words. That's just straight up like.
Excuse me.
And we're off.
Sound sounds like boring.
It's drilling, yes.
This is the quality.
Sorry, that was way too highbrow, apparently.
This is the ultimate dad joke off show.
Yeah.
Right. So that's all the important people done. Steve.
Yeah.
Oh.
If I go to Ch02, do I get a better answer than you?
Probably.
Okay.
But can Jet PT all rate for 12 minutes straight without breathing?
Probably not.
Without breathing.
Without breathing.
Oh, right. Yeah.
12 minutes without breathing.
That's what he said I did the other week.
Can you?
When it was story time.
When it was story time, that's it. Yeah. Yes, I'm Steve. You will only find me here. I don't exist outside the realm of Dave allowing me to stream on a Friday and Saturday night.
Or probability. Or anything.
Or a Thursday when we paint occasionally.
Yep.
So yeah, I'm Badger 2, Dave's left hand, and I don't break my pasta in half before.
You're still on that one, aren't you? You're still on that one.
Still on that one.
That's a hangover from yesterday. We did a paint stream for the Great British Brush Off, and we were talking about spaghetti.
That's good spaghetti.
And I said, right, in the UK, it's dry spaghetti, it comes in sticks, and then you put it in the pot. And everyone's like, "No, you swine!"
So I quite literally, I was talking to JD on the Instagram earlier, and we joked about that, like how like some things are bad, but you'll never be snapping spaghetti bad.
I don't want to be that guy, but I can one up that. When we have spaghetti bolognese, no, I'm going to piss off the entire Italian nation now. When
you put
we
raisins in it.
Bolognese, I eat it with a knife and fork, and I cut the spaghetti into little pieces.
Not as bad. It's not as bad as snapping it before it's cooked. It's not as bad.
You have to get it in the saucepan.
People who put raisins in bolognese and curries as well, get out.
Bolognese, raisins.
Right, hey, I'm going to do the equivalent of rage quitting that I can in this stream.
Yeah, I genuinely, people have served me raisins in bolognese and curry, and I've literally thought,
Bolognese?
at what point is it over the top to throw this at them?
Throw it in the bin.
Oh, it's just, yeah.
So,
Dave, if you really want to get under skin, snap the pasta, then add some raisins. Let's really go for it.
Diabolical bolognese. Here we go.
No.
We could do that. Right, are we ready to play some games and chill out for this?
He's gone.
Look!
Oh, no,
Somebody puts raisins in his bolognese?
Rage quit.
Oh my God, can you imagine?
It turns out I just crossed a massive line.
Yeah. Whoa.
His mum died in a raisin spaghetti incident, and I've just really fucked it.
I was going to say, we're waiting to see if everyone's ready. And,
he's on his way back. He's on his way back.
Yeah.
He just said it died on him. Here we go. Look. Shit, it died on me. And then hang on. So we're going to hang on for a little bit. We'll just see if he comes back. I think we should.
Have we got the trailer to play? We could play the trailer and then he can.
Should we ready? Back. Should we ready to? What's ready to? Let's
go.
Is he? Let's
roll VT. Roll VT.
Roll VT. Fucking hell, yeah. Every week. God, yeah.
I'm back.
Every week. Well done, Josh. Right, let's roll VT.
I saw that. It's changed. There's no Vicaris. He's gone.
Yes, it has
Company's
changed.
been editing.
Yeah, it has changed. Yes, well done. Well
So
spotted.
you know what this means, don't you? My theory about us not dying because he won't want to edit the video trailer is wrong.
I've said it before. I'll say it 100 times. You cannot die in D&D.
It's not true.
You can.
It's not true. Dave doesn't have the balls to kill anyone in D&D. Simple as.
Wow. Okay,
Don't
today's
tempt him.
kill then.
Let's see what we can do, shall we? Right. Forget what I said about no battle. Let's go straight into
Impromptu combat.
a legion of adult dragons attack Kalaman Castle. Here we go.
He's pissed. Adult Black completed it, mate.
So the last episode, things got a little bit heated when you met the High Council of Kalaman Castle. Vogler was completely destroyed, burned down to the ground, but you managed to rescue a number of people from Vogler. And when you went to meet the High Council, yes, they chucked you out. You're back in the hallway, and the door was slammed shut behind you. And that is where we're going to pick up. Does anybody want to say or do anything before we carry on into the next bit?
I'm gonna draw my blade from its scabbard.
Okay.
And I'll look at the rest of the party, and I'll say, there is no way I am fighting for that man. Absolutely no way will I do his bidding. He'll never get my sword. And with that, I will just bury it as deep as I can into the door frame, so it sticks, and then just hit it with the corner of my shield so the blade shatters, so that what's left in the door frame is half a blade, and then the hilt with the remaining shattered section of the blade on it. And I'll pick it up and I'll hold it up and say, this is the only blade that Vicaris will have sworn to him. To the broken blades of Vicaris.
Cool. I draw my rapier out and just clang it against the bit that's York is holding up and say, "Ha, York! I'm glad that some of me has rubbed off on you, you rebellious bugger."
And then I'll sheathe the weapon again.
Okay. Anybody else?
I think in this moment, Fizz, this ethereal silver sword that he drew and conjured out of nowhere, he just it's almost like dropping a real blade, but as soon as it falls like a real blade and the tip touches the ground like it would clatter over, it just dissipates, and there are just still tears just pouring out of the void into onto the ground, and he just stays quiet.
Shilin has her arms folded, silently tapping her foot, staring down Lord Vicaris, giving him a death stare.
Well, he's in another room.
Oh, is he in another room? Oh, well, yeah, she's just biding her time staring at whoever's there with us.
You're basically in the hallway. You've just been shoved outside of the conference hall, if you like.
Okay. Yeah, she's just brooding. She's annoyed. She's waiting for something to happen.
Okay.
I'll walk over to Fizz, seeing him, really upset. Just kind of put my hand on his shoulder. Come on, Fizz, let's get out of here. And I think the rest of us should as well. We don't know how this could turn. So I say we go.
Well, one thing I do know is that I'm not abandoning you lot. I mean, I consider you my crew now, so I'm not disbanding like they said we should.
Stick together.
Agreed. There'll be no disbanding.
But we need to wait. We haven't been dismissed.
Ooh.
Maybe the High Council will see sense once Vicaris has gone.
Now,
the mayor can speak for us.
Are we trapped in this room? Is it a smaller room?
That's what I was thinking.
This is the corridor. This is the corridor to the outside of the chamber. You can walk back out the castle. You'll more likely get stopped because you're not being escorted.
I don't think Fizz would think about it at this point. Like Grom's like giving him some reassurance, but like staring at the ground, he just like, and it's just a completely different body posture. He's just like almost like trudgingly slow swaying step by step forwards just to start depressively walking away, I guess.
Okay.
Should we go?
Yeah, maybe we should wait to be dismissed. 'Cause they want to disband us. If we wait to be dismissed, they may try and forcibly split us up.
Are there any guards in the corridor, Dave?
Yeah, down at the end where you've got the corridor that goes down to this next flight of stairs. You can see 2 guards just stationed there.
Oh, well,
someone's buzzing on their
yeah, I can hear that.
headphones.
Yeah.
Do you want to one by one go mute?
Oh, it's gone.
Oh, it might be a lot. No.
No, I don't think it's Lauren.
I think it is.
It's gone. Is it? Go on, come back then.
I think it might be him.
Might be Ian.
Sorry.
It's Ian.
I was checking. I thought it was me for a second, and I was like, no, it's still there.
Oh man.
It's
Poor guy.
stopped now. It's stopped now.
So
Yeah.
you'll see Fizz start to walk up the corridor. Maybe he's fizzing. You just walk up and down. You pace the floor of the hallway. But after about half an hour, the council meeting adjourns. The chamber doors open, and the guard there sees the sword embedded into it, and immediately kind of looks at all of you with a disapproving glance. And most of the council members all start to file out past you. They come out of this door, and they pass. They come out of a door further towards the top, and they all pass you without a glance. And inside, let's say Shilling and George, you see a female knight who seems to be kind of beckoning you in to the main room, and you can see that the Governor Myatt is still sitting at his seat at the head of the table.
I'll walk forwards.
Yeah, I'll come as well.
Well, I'll follow York.
Okay.
Following.
Is Darrett still with us?
Darrett and Raven are still with you, yes.
Okay.
Fizz will just stay near the back and just slowly come in with them.
Yeah. So Governor Myatt, let's have a look. I can show you what he looks like. There he is. So kind of a bit like Bakaris. Rich, fat. All the stuff they've got is elegant. Very pompous, led, but he's the guy in charge. The guy, Governor Myatt, he frowns as he's taking in all the information, and he says, well, this is all dire news. My heart, as I said before, it does go out to your friends and families. But I hope you can understand our reticence to welcome you through our city gates. These are not normal times. And he indicates to the woman standing next to him, he says, Marshal. The governor gestures to a very stern woman wearing the armor, embellished with blue and gold, the blue and gold colors of Kalaman. And she nods at Governor, and then she nods at you all as she stands, and she says, well, I am Marshal Vendry, commander of Kalaman's military forces, and I'm afraid your situation is far from unique. We have not only had reports, but we've had a few survivors turn up over the past few days, just like you all did. There are small villages and farms to the south and east of Kalaman have been burned in recent days. Volga, I believe, is the largest community to be attacked. And I guess only with your help, it's been the one with the most survivors. We've had reports of experienced patrols of armoured Kalaman soldiers who have been found cut down. Now, Lord Baccharis, who is in here, has provided us with probably the clearest information on this enemy that Kalaman has received to date. I want to know if you can add any more to that.
Without
Any
missing a
information?
beat. Without missing a beat from the back, this voice. Then he should lead the charge at the vanguard back, shouldn't he? And it's just this, he's swaying like he's drunk almost. And he's just like, Baccharis has given you all the information you need. Have him lead the charge.
In fact, your name is Fizzwiz, am I correct?
Yes.
Lord Baccharis has volunteered to lead the charge.
Shouldn't just laugh. Ha!
Yeah, so does Flynn.
Would help him.
So I guess the disband is over then.
Well, that depends. You see, Governor Myatt kind of takes over now. And he says, with everything going on, the citizens of Kalaman are prepared to offer your people shelter in the neighborhoods outside the city walls. They will have the protection of our soldiers, and while we can spare the food from our tables, they shall have that too. As he folds his hands and he fixes his eyes on you all. But there is a condition.
Speak it.
Kalaman's leaders and I are concerned about the threat posed by the enemy that attacked Vogler. Now, this city, as Marshal Vendry has said, has woefully little information about this foe. And a number of our scouts that we sent out have all but disappeared. Now, somehow, you have both faced this foe and managed to save most of the people from the village from an attack.
Mm.
And then
Let me
without,
guess. Let
without
me
miss-
guess. You want us to go off and try and find out more information on some sort of suicide mission.
Exactly that. We will not waste our own troops, but you will be sworn in to the Kalaman military. You will serve this office under Marshal Vendry. You, Sir Knight, George, I believe it to be, you will be merged into our military along with young Darrett. Mayor Raven has some military experience, so she will be taken into that as well. But the rest of you, who are of no military experience, will you swear in?
Before you
have a
speak,
choice.
consider this. I will do what is right. And the right thing to do is to go out there and find out more information about this foe, so that a proper defence can be set. And after a proper defence has been set, we can plan a proper attack. What this man is offering, or dressing up, is payment for you to do the same. But he's not offering anything that can't be taken freely. The people are already outside the walls, and the military are not strong enough to move them on. If they wish to take the food, they can, yet he's saying they will spare the food from their own tables. Before you sign up to what he's offering, understand what he should be paying for it. Because what he's giving you at the moment is what we're already taking for free.
It's a good point, York.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah, very well stated.
Remuneration.
Pony up. Come on.
What is the reward?
I don't work for free.
You know the people deserve a place inside the walls, because if that army comes down on Kalaman, they are outside undefended. I can probably guess that the reason your military can't go out and find this information for themselves is because they're too busy reinforcing the walls of Kalaman for an inevitable attack. If we do this, you will bring all the refugees inside the walls.
And Governor Meyer looks to Marshal Vendry. Marshal Vendry is standing at the wall, looks down at him, gives a brief nod. That is a quite good assessment, York. We shall offer you and your party lodgings here within the castle. If you swear allegiance, you will also be paid 5 steel pieces per week. And we shall double the guard on the outside of the walls. There will be more survivors appearing over the next few days.
I look at Marshal Vendry. If they're to stay outside the walls, I want your promise. No, your oath that they will be protected properly should an attack occur, and that at that point they will be allowed inside the walls, not trapped outside with this rampaging army.
Without, again, missing a thing there, as you say that, Jorg, Fizzwiz kind of like from the back you just hear, and what makes you think you can trust him? Just like Bakaris. Lies. And he's just swaying on the spot. And what do we get if we say no?
With this happening and me saying right next to Fizz, my hand is on his shoulder.
Mm-hmm.
There's no specific type of thing I want to cast here, but just because of any type of divine connection, can I feel anything going on here? Like, is there he obviously is kind of out of it, but based on his behavior, I'm feeling like there might be more to this that I'm picking up on, just on a personal level.
No. So there's no kind of cross connection between arcane and divine that you are sensing. Whatever this has come from, this is more exhaustion and stress. This is not,
so I'm not sensing any presence or any control or...
There's no outside source, good, bad, evil, whatever. This is... You can almost feel his shoulder trembling. He's swaying, but this is more exhaustion and stress.
Is there anything around, any benches or any seating or anything?
Back out in the hallway, yes. This is the chamber. You can sit down in the Lord's chairs if you wish to. In my mind, it's kind of like the House of the Parliament. You've got chairs on either sides. They debate everything. It's very elegant, lots of wood and green and red leathers everywhere.
Okay. Fizz, why don't we come over here and sit down? Would you like to maybe sit down? You seem a little woozy.
Yeah, I think with that, there's a head turn, a slight one, of an ear being cocked in your direction. And he kind of you feel his shoulder go with your hand if you guide him. And then he will sit at one of these things. And if there's a table in front, he'll just smash his face, not intentionally trying to hurt himself, but his face, like you saw on the beach when he was tired, he just hit the ground face first and just stayed there. He just kind of face plants the table, and you can see this black void kind of goes through it because it's an illusion, and you must see where his face sort of implants into the table. And as he does so, he's just York, you can't trust them. Surely not after Bakaris.
I'll just let's take a little nappy poo, Fizz.
Nappy poo.
So, Jorg, Marshal Vendry steps forward. And she has something in her hand.
Yeah.
And she holds it out to you.
Yeah.
You going to take it?
I will take it, yeah.
So, as you put your hand out to take it, she grabs, with her left hand, she grabs your wrist.
Yeah.
And she puts this whatever it is, I'll show you in a sec, into your hand, and she squeezes your hand tight. And with that, she says, Est Solaris Uthmithas.
Est Solaris Mythras.
So what you see when you open your hand is this medallion. Now, this is the medallion. It is two-sided. This is one of the items you get in the Beetle and Grimm's book. So you got one side represents and has the colours of the Kalaman soldiers, the city of Kalaman, and the other side represents, there you go, the Esquire of Kalaman.
Ooh.
And she says that as she does that, and you repeat it back, she says, "Thank you, Lieutenant."
I am already a squire, sworn to the Knights of Solamnia.
Yes. And now you are sworn to the Knights of Kalaman.
Okay. You still haven't given me your oath regarding the people of Vogler.
I have given you my oath. Governor Myatt has to give you his.
Governor, I repeat my request. If we are to do this, I have to know that the people of Vogler will be properly protected, properly cared for. You need to give me your oath that they'll be let inside the city walls in the event of an attack. That they will be fed, even if it means the people of Kalaman go slightly hungry. And I would extend that protection to any other refugees that turn up here in the next few weeks. I would like Mayor Raven to be reinstated to her previous position and given the honorary title of Protector of the Refugees.
You see Mayor Raven step forward, and she looks at you in amazement, and as she steps next to you, she says, everything you've done since you arrived, all of you, it has not been forgotten. It will not be forgotten. From me and from the people you've saved.
And then
every
from the
small
table,
thing you've done.
when she says the people you saved, this voice of Fizz comes out, and it's just, it wasn't enough. We didn't save them all. And then he just sobs.
But thank you. We must. I'll return to the people now. I will make arrangements. Make sure we have food, medicine, tents, blankets, whatever we need. But I thank you. And she walks out the door. So Marshal Vendry stands there. Do any of you others wish to take the vow?
I don't. Yeah.
Shannon's just like looking at Flynn, being like, "What do I do?"
Yeah.
She's like,
I'll tell you what, I'll vow to help in any way I can, but I can't swear allegiance to anyone. It's just not in my nature.
And
But I will give you my word. And I pull out my rapier and hold it in front of my face. Like that. I give you my word. I'll do everything in my power to help. And then stick my rapier back in.
And I think from the table, Fizz is like, Jorg, I'm not going to swear to them, but I'll follow you. You helped everybody you could.
Shilling says more or less the same. She's like, I can't do any grand gestures, but I'm willing to help as far as I can.
Jorg is fully pledged, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
I'll after hearing this, I'll with my hand still on Fizz, I'll turn and look at Jorg. Do you trust him?
That
No.
pauses the answer.
No, I don't. But that wouldn't change what we're going to do.
Mm.
So if swearing allegiance buys the help that the people of Vogler need, I'll do whatever it takes.
I'll reach down and I'll grab the emblem that is hanging around my neck. And I'll pause for a second. And then I'll look up. I'm in your legions. But may you come through with what you say. Or it will be a problem. And it's just, I mean, it's mean. It's like dead on, non-blink stare. Eye to eye.
Marshal Vendry steps forward to you, Grom. She says, "You are Grom Evenhammer." Is that
I
right?
am.
What symbol do you have there?
The emblem.
Mm-hmm.
I'll hold it up, and it'll look like this.
Ooh.
I just happen to have that.
It's handy.
And
it's,
I'll
it's
just,
handy to use.
yeah.
I've got that one there on the screen. So there we go.
Okay, cool. You got it.
Yeah.
So I'll kind of hold it out, and I'll say, well, we can just say someone very important gifted this to me. And as I just stand there, I'll just be holding it like this.
Then I will give you this symbol, and you will also be an esquire of Kalaman. But I may point your attention to some of the far corners of this room and of this castle. And as you start to look around, you start to pay attention to some of the carvings, which are very, very old, pre-cataclysm. And they appear to be scenes of the warrior god, Kiri Jalith. I think if you are a believer, then maybe you've just been led to the right place. Even if there are no more gods, a little praying can't help us, or can help us.
I'll reach out and take it. Take the coin. Just kind of look and wink. Well, let's just hope Kiri's still around.
She grabs your hand again, squeezes it tightly, and you hear her say, "Esularis usmithas."
Esularis usmithas.
Thank you.
Oh, thank you. I'll sit back down and take the coin.
Okay. If that is all, I will show you to your new lodgings. And we can get started.
Good enough.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So she plus a guard escorts you. She gives Darrett's different orders. He also takes the token and takes the vow. And he is given orders straight away to go to a different location. But she wants to show you to a different part of the area. So on your way, again, you notice all of the Grom. You notice all of the high-level architecture is all about Kirigilith, the warrior god who is or was the patron of the Slumlet Knights of the Sword. Okay. Eventually, they take you up onto, I believe it's the 4th floor, and this room was once a small ballroom. There's a row of pillars sculpted with knotwork of images of knights. You got Kirigilith is put in there with some of their figurine. The supports of the pillars support a vaulted ceiling, and light shines into the room through tall windows which are facing the mountains to the south. Now, one corner of this ballroom holds a collection of plain cots. You think kind of very basic military, wooden frame, green cloth canvas over the top. At the foot of each one, there is a chest, and nearby to that is a big round wooden table, and next to that is a big kind of pinboard. Scattered on the table itself are drawings and sketches of the various beings that you have come to know now as Draconians, but now some of them have been named.
Ah.
Okay.
This is a hit list.
Some have been named, some of them mentioned, explode into acid, explode into gas, that kind of thing. So you have kind of what to expect with some of these, how they fight. Now what she turns around to you and says, well, you are now going to be our specialized unit. You will go places where the army of Kalaman cannot.
Sounds like fun.
Good. I was hoping you would say that, Hawk.
Yeah. Oh, you know my name.
Now, why I may not agree with Governor Myatt, him and the Lords do run this city. Some of it run it very well. But we, Jorg and I, and now Grom, are military. We follow orders. If you want to stay and protect them, that's fine. But this is now your home. And here, she tosses to Jorg and to Grom a small coin pouch. Inside is 5 steel pieces.
Thank you.
That's your wages, boys.
I assume we could use this around the area.
Yes, you can. You are free to go into the city if you wish to. I'll bring that up on the screen here. So as you can see on the map, Castle Kalaman is dead center of the city. It is a massive walled city with a huge harbour, with a harbour beacon. Just if you go up from Castle Kalaman, if you go north, you can find the city market. To the right of that is Wanderer's Rest, which is an inn and a pub. To the left of that is Hammerstrike Forges. If you want armor or weaponry, you can buy it here. If you want any mundane weaponry or armor, you will find that downstairs. You can just take whatever you need.
Okay.
Well, I will leave you here and you can get yourselves acquainted.
One other question. Is there anywhere where we might be able to find some medicines or potions of healing by chance?
You can. In fact, if you go to Melura's Oddities, I'm sure you'll be able to find some there.
Oh, excellent.
If not, try to market.
Thank you.
Is this
she leaves the room and then she closes the doors.
Is this a map that's being shown to us right now? Or is this just for the players?
This is just for the players.
Okay, that's fine.
Mm-hmm.
Ding dong.
And a door opens. Room service comes in.
Did remind me of Zelda a little bit there.
Yeah.
You leveled up. Bing bong.
You said there was 5 silver pieces in that, right?
Steel.
Yes.
Steel
Steel.
pieces.
Is that the equivalent of
equivalent to
gold?
Steel. Yeah,
Yes.
sorry.
Hmm.
Yeah, I just put it in the gold.
Now, also on the round table, you also find a document.
Ooh, I
It
like
is a
document.
booklet that looks like this. So this is also Beadle and Grimm's. Now, Josh, you might have some fun with this if you've got one. Which has on the inside these bits and pieces. Now I will show that to you because I've got a picture of it here.
Yeah.
So that's the outside cover, which is very nice. That is the inside cover. Steve, if you can read that, do you want to read it out?
Yeah. So it says that the rank Esquire of Kalaman, Lieutenancy. Commanding officer is Marshal Vendry. And it says, as an Esquire of Kalaman, I do solemnly swear to support and defend Kalaman against all enemies within and without its walls, and to obey the orders of my commanding officer according to the regulations of the military of Kalaman. As an Esquire of Kalaman, I'm entitled to a weekly salary of 5 steel pieces, free lodging at the Castle Kalaman barracks.
Cool. And then on the inside, you've got, it's a whole notebook of pages, which allows you to write in your mission reports for every mission that you go on, the mission, the date, and then of course a written report of what happened, the proceedings, objectives, and everything else. But that, again, big shout out to Beadle and Grimm's. You get 6 of these, 5 or 6 of these in the actual box itself. So again, all the players around the table can have one of these, which is really nice.
That is good. That is good.
Nice little thing nice little token as well to take away.
Players being what they are, they will forever remain empty.
More than likely.
Yeah.
I have suggested it in the shared folder. If you want to print off your own and just fill it in, that'd be great. But no one will.
York, Grom, you've got to do paperwork.
Yeah, but free.
Pretty much.
Well, it does seem
Free and
that,
broke.
yeah, it seems here we'll be able to at least bring some income to the group. 10 steel pieces each. Well, in total, I guess that's 5 each in total for the week.
Yeah.
And it seems that we're the only ones that are going to get lodging here for free. What about everybody else?
Oh, I'll be all right. Don't worry. I'll get lodging somewhere. Give me 20 minutes and I'll get 20 steel pieces for us.
Shannon's like, don't worry about me.
And yeah, Fizz just like from the this. Oh no, because we're in a different room now, aren't we? So he sort of stood there, and he's not swearing anymore because there's been conversation and distraction, and he's like, I've got places to be. I'll be okay. But I can make my way back here when I'm done what I need to do.
We just stay here. They offered us room and board here without you needing to swear.
Yeah, that's what I interpret. That's what I
That's
thought.
why I took it.
Yeah. If not, Shannon will pickpocket the shit out of that town.
Yep.
Get some money.
I bet there's
Pay for our
plenty
own
more fat rich people around here that we could pickpocket. Hey, Shilling?
Mm-hmm. Plenty of other Lord Bacarises we can target.
Just not in front of York.
But I want to pick up on what Fizz just said. Like, you mean you're looking to leave, not stay with us to help? But are you looking to go somewhere right now, Fizz?
Yeah. And he like holds his like satchel that his spell book's in, and then he puts his hand into it and he slips out this ornate like scroll that you've not seen before, and it's woven with the 3 red, white, and black. There you go. That's what it looks like. And he doesn't quite. He can't look you in the eyes at the moment. He's still sort of looking at your feet, but he's at least looking in your direction. And he's like, yeah, I have to find somebody called Waihan here. The in the last tower when I was made an apprentice of the White Robes. And there's this painful pause where he just like almost chokes on his words. I swore to help people, and I said I would deliver this to Waihan. He's here somewhere.
He's here in this city.
Kalaman, yes.
You did help people, Fizz.
Hmm.
And he just,
did.
the foot starts turning on its toes, and he looks uncomfortable. And he's almost starting to rock there, and he's like, yeah, I wasn't strong enough. It wasn't enough. And then just shuts it down and goes still.
Hmm.
Oh, Fizz, my friend.
Yeah, we can
Even
go.
if you
Well,
can save one life, it's better than saving none.
yeah,
And you saved much more than one.
And then I think in this moment, like the head turns up towards, and it's almost looking you in the eyes, but it's not quite there yet for Hawk. But I'll get stronger. I'll help. I'll fight. And there's almost this like rage behind this quiet voice. And he just slumps again.
Aw.
Let's find you this person you need to deliver.
Yeah,
the
we'll
scroll
help
to.
you. Shillin's quite worried about Fish. She's a bit like, yeah, we just need to follow him.
It'll give us something to do, and maybe we get a chance to see Kalaman.
Yeah.
Good
Good idea.
idea.
Yeah,
We've got some shopping to do. Let's go to that oddities place, and maybe we can pick up some better gear too.
Well, we need to go downstairs as well because I need a new sword.
yeah. There's not a lot left of that other one.
He's getting rather reckless with his equipment, isn't he? First it's his armor, then it's his sword.
About what time is it right now?
You arrived, so you all splashed up at dawn. I'd imagine it's going to be about lunchtime now. And you've been up well over 24 hours now. You are all feeling hungry and exhausted, but you're still going.
Adrenaline. It's pure adrenaline.
Maybe we should.
But this is where it starts to hit you now.
Yeah.
Maybe we should get some rest before we decide to do anything else. I mean, I
Definitely.
don't know about you guys, but I'm definitely ready for a bit of rest. 40 winks.
And I think as well, when you say that you need a new sword, York, there's almost like there's a moment where he kind of like his shoulders come back and like his head kind of tilts, and then Fizwiz like his hand comes up from his waist where the wand is, and you watch as like as he stretches it out, there's almost this like this silver etherealness comes out, and it starts to reform the shape of your sword that you just snapped, that he's seen before, until it like conjures and coalesces into a full blade, and he just kind of like, it's really big for him obviously, but it's like almost lightweight light. And he hands it to you, and he's like, yeah, it will only do for one attack or one block, or it won't take much damage, but it at least might help.
Thank you, Fizz. That's really kind of you.
I can only do one of those at a time.
I'll pull Broken Blade out and I'll put that in my belt. I'm going to keep it. Remind me of what brought us together. As bad as Picardus was, him, he wouldn't be here now. It's our shared hatred of him to a certain extent that brought us together, and that at least. But this Broken Blade.
Sorry, Steve, you're breaking up a little bit there. I wonder if it was your
I wasn't sure if
battery.
that was just me. I was about to say something. Yeah, it's dropping out a bit.
Mate, I don't know.
That's
Is it any better?
Yeah, much better.
Yeah.
I'll just try speaking louder.
Oh.
I'm gonna keep this blade. This is a reminder of our mission to reinstate Vogler. And I, for one, am not ready for sleep.
No?
Oh, drinking it is then, York.
I grew up in Kalaman, and there is a famous tavern.
Oh.
I think we should go there, but after
Excellent.
we've delivered Fizz's scroll.
Yeah, let's do that first. Good idea.
Well, yes, I guess we can pick up some supplies in the morning then.
Yes. And we don't know what our mission is yet. There's this information here, but my brain could certainly do with a little bit of relaxing. So let's take an easy task. Let's deliver the scroll, go out for a few drinks, get some sleep.
Well, no, never say no to drinks.
Nope.
Let's get this scroll delivered. Ah.
Yeah, it sounds good to me then.
Okay, so you're all hitting the town.
In
Yep.
the town.
Okay.
Glad Brag's on.
Oh, definitely. So from Castle Kalaman, again, dead center on the map, just to the left, not far away, is indeed Wyon's apothecary.
Cool.
So-
I wasn't going to meta that and be like, I'm going to head straight there because I was like asking earlier if we saw the map. But
Yeah.
if you tell us that it's there, then I'm like,
Yeah,
oh, well, that's
it's there.
I will ask a guard if we need a reason.
There might
You see
even
the-
be
you
a
see
map
the
up
road
in the
signs?
guard room.
You have everything you need up in where you are. So you have maps of Kalaman, the Northern Wastes, the entire continent.
cool.
It's all up to you to keep track of events and things. So you step outside the castle. There are guards everywhere. Boom, boom, boom. Stations at all the doors and openings, down the corridors, out into the courtyard. A ton of guards at the gate, huge portcullis gates, and then you're out into the main city itself, which is still inside the walls. And eventually, you find your way to a kind of... it's not a run-down shop. It's actually well maintained from the outside. It has some foggy windows, which kind of obscure, I guess, a kind of selection of charms and various occult trappings for sale. And there's a big sign on the door saying "Open, business hours only." What do you want to do? You going in?
Yeah.
I think as soon as does it say Y hands on it? Does it?
Yep. Wyhan's apothecary, which is
as
really
soon
hard
as,
for me
like,
to say.
That imagery is there, like and he's not taken the hat off the entire time. He like pulls the scroll from his bag. We'll look at that, look at the name, and then just go straight for the door and just opens it and goes straight in.
Okay. All right. So, Wyon's apothecary, as you step inside, immediately there are smells of licorice and pepper. It's a modest shop. There's a few meager tables around the area, around the floor, displaying good luck charms, the odd animal bone, the rabbit's foot, those kind of things, and vials of various remedies. At the rear of the shop, you see a human woman with raven hair and a dark dress with kind of almost feathered wing-like sleeves. She's standing behind the counter. The counter itself is like heaped with all of these open books, and she's just kind of looking at some, moving over, looking at some others, and eventually she looks up from reading. Her eyes kind of looks you up and down, complete disinterest, and then just goes back to her book. Let me show you a picture of her as well. There you go. I don't know why it's come up with a green background.
Oh, that's awesome.
But you can see
A
her there.
very fancy dress.
Very, very fancy dress.
I want
Very
it.
nice.
That's really cool. And yeah, I guess if she like looks up and then looks down, he'll kind of like step forwards and he like holds the scroll like in two hands close to his chest. And he's like, you Wyhan.
Sorry, what was that?
I Wyhan.
Wyhan. Yes, I am Wyhan. And who are you?
I'm Bizwiz, and I was sent here to give you this. And he just holds the scroll out and starts walking forwards.
Fizzwiz. Oh, and I see you have... they're certainly taking anyone these days. You have a scroll.
Yeah, it's from Ravina.
Ah, yes, I know Ravina. Tell me, why have you got the scroll?
And he kind of like pauses for a minute, and he'll look down at his feet, and then his hand sort of like goes to like the wand and his bag, and then he puts his hand into the bag and pulls out this spell book, and he places like the scroll on top of it, and he's like, Ravina gave me these when I was at her tower. She welcomed me into the orders of the white robes, but I was tasked to bring you this. And then he almost goes back to like looking down at the ground, but he's just still holding it up, and he's like, I'm tired.
So I see. Okay, well, I'm sure I have a remedy or two that will get you back on your toes. Now, as she reaches down and she takes the scroll from you, you can keep the book. It's just a notebook anyway. They have tons of merchandise. So, have you, as she holds the scroll, she examines the knots and the two ends, the steel caps. Did you open this?
No. Ravina said not to, and it wasn't my place to, so.
And you're giving me your word?
I have nothing else to give. And he sort of like, the head like looks up at her at this point, and it's still like this black visage with those blue orbs.
Your mask, may you remove that? I would like to see your face.
There's a moment where his hand goes to do it, and then he stops, and it's like shaking. He's like, and he kind of like, his ears and his head tilts towards the rest of the party, and he eventually kind of like reaches up and just starts to pull it back. And as it like slips away, you can see his lip is trembling and his eyes are bloodshot, and he looks exhausted. The bags under his eyes, his beard is like really starting to come in again, and it looks scruffy and horrible. And it's just, you can see he's been pulling at it, and he just looks so different. 1 day's difference, and he looks so beaten down. And he's just, I'm sorry for how I look. It's been a testing journey.
Yes, I've heard. I hear lots of things. And I guess you and all your friends trying to surreptitiously hide amongst the shelves, pretending to shop, are the saviors of Vogler, I believe.
And he will look her in the eyes when she says that. And he's like, I need supplies. I need more. I need to be stronger. I need to be better. Too many died. I wasn't strong enough. And they're like,
as I'm sure you've heard, Master Fizzwiz, you can't save them all. And every time she speaks, you notice that she's got a huge kind of curved, pointed eyebrow that she raises all the time.
And he snaps. And it's the first time you hear him raise his voice. And she says, you can't save them all. And he says, that's not good enough! They didn't deserve that!
No.
They didn't deserve that!
Not many people do, especially the innocent. But this isn't about them. This is now about you. And what you need. Now this scroll. Do you know what it does?
And you can see this twisted pain on his face, and he's just like, he's struggling internally with, should I care? I need power, but I need to help people. And he's like, no.
Well, not many people who take the tests do. This simple scroll that you were told to deliver to me was not exactly the whole truth. You see, this scroll, while in your possession, it records everything that you do. And it will make a decision. It will decide your fate as to which of the robes you are best suited for. White, red, or like me, black.
And his eyes, the first time, look fearful. They like widen open, and there's this like glazed over like look of like water, and he's like, you know, when you catch a child that's done something wrong and they know they've done something wrong, there's that look of fear on his face for a split second, and he's like, oh.
Indeed. Oh. Now, before I open this and we see which robes have been chosen for you based on your actions, why do you think you're worthy of using magic?
There's a pause, and this emotion, kind of like it's like an aura for those of you around him, and especially for Grom, I imagine, who sensed it earlier. And he sort of sways a little bit and does that same thing again, where he kind of like drunkenly sways and kind of like loses his balance. And you can just feel this ambivalent sadness and anger and want and need to help at the same time. And it's quite dark. It's really quite something. And then he's like, I thought, and he holds this book in his hand, and he like rubs his hand over like the white gemstone, and he's like, my dad just wanted to help everybody. My mum, she was so kind. She just said, you know, if we can help, we can save, if we can do anything that we can to help other people, and that's what we should do with our lives. If we can make one person happy, then we've succeeded. But I'm so angry. And his hand sort of like sweeps across the other two. How can I help if I can't fight?
Well, Master Fizzwiz, we all know where anger leads us.
Fear.
Tell me, do you serve your magic, or does your magic serve you?
And he like looks up from the gemstones in the book at her. I don't know anymore. Is it a tool? Is it me? Is it something? And he looks at Grom, given to me. Or am I merely a puppet in a larger game? And he looks at Yorg. So many lies already. So many people are dead. I'm tired.
We can all be tired in the pursuit of magic. But tell me, with everyone who's died and everyone who is about to die, if this war comes for us, how will you change the world with your magic?
And he's sort of like, there's like almost like a tremor to him. And he's like, he just pulls these silver strands and they just kind of swirl around his hand for a moment, and it's just shaking, and he's like, I just wanted to help people. I thought that's what that would, I was naive. And he just looks at Yorg and he's just like, I guess if we fight for those who can't, then I guess I'll be helping. Maybe if I can do anything to save somebody else, or to put my life there instead of theirs, then I'll do it. That's how I'll use my magic.
And tell me again, Master Fizzwiz, with all these people you want to help, how would you help them if you lost your magic? What would you do then?
Don't know. I guess I just have to cross that bridge when I get to it. Hopefully it never happens.
Okay. I feel for your situation, Master Fizzwiz. But I will contact the Order. And I will let them know the decision that has been made by you, really. She starts to unscrew the scroll case. She takes the top off, she puts it down on one of the books. She puts her fingers in and she pulls out this piece of paper. As the piece of paper comes out, you can see it's all red, apart from a middle stripe right down the middle, which is white. And as she holds it out, she pulls it open, and it's just a red page with this white stripe all the way down. She holds it in her left hand, and as she reaches down to touch your shoulder, she goes, I see. You have already made your decision. And as she touches you on your shoulder, you see your current robes start to change and transform. Do you want to tell me what happens?
Yeah, so I guess this white traveling cloak that he's been wearing with this like red triangle trim to it begins to, the colors just start to melt away and melt into each other, almost like a marbling effect as they sort of switch places. And this like blood red and cloak with this white trim with these white triangles, they just switch places and invert the colors. And for a moment, he was excited as she pulled the scroll out, and he was really kind of, it looked for a moment like the spark of happiness. And then he sees the red, and he kind of like, his shoulders slump a little bit, and there's like, again, the eyes start to well up. And there's almost this look of, like, anybody with a high insight would see that, like, it almost looks like he thinks he's a failure because of this, but then sort of understands that, you know, he is still part of the Order and he still has magic, and it's not necessarily punishment, even though he thinks it is himself. But he's like, I understand. I need supplies. I'll get stronger. I'll fight.
Good. You may not like the decision that has been made for you, but I will contact the Tower of High Sorcery in Wayreth, and I will send them the details of what is to be included in your next step of training. But for now, Master Fizzwiz, I welcome you. You are now a full wizard. At least within our circles.
Way to go, Fizzwiz.
And he
Cool Fred's Fitz.
he nods to her, and he looks at the other guys, and he's like, sorry about earlier. I've never been through anything like this, and I'm just in pain. It'll take time. I guess, I don't know. And he looks at York. He's like, if you think I should say the oath, I'll do it if you tell me to. If you think it's better for the group, I'll do it. If you think that I will do what I can for you guys to help other people, because I know, York, that you'll do what's right, even when some of us don't know.
You shouldn't say the oath. You don't need to. I did. Grom decided to. But what's important is that we do what's right, what we believe is right. What I believe is right is often different. You know, I don't always agree with the way Hawk does things, but ultimately we have arrived at the same place, so his decisions aren't wrong. I trust all of you to make the right decision.
Mm-hmm.
And he looks around the group.
Military is irrelevant.
Yeah, and he looks around the group, and like he just looks you all, and like his eyes are just so puffy and exhausted, but he's just like, so happy that you're still here in this pain, and he's just like, I'll get stronger, and I'll help you any way I can. We should stay together.
Yes, we should. And you are explaining
Right.
all of this when we get to the bar.
Yeah. First round's on you, Fizz.
And at that point, he like looks at you all, and he's like, and he's like handing over like a list of supplies he needs for spells. Dave, in particular, I do actually need to get some components for certain spells. And then he's like, Pakaris has got all the money.
I'll put down one of the stills from the pouch on top of the list that Fizz has put down on the counter, and I'll look at this Wyvern, and I'll just say, we'll be back in the morning to pick up the supplies. We have somewhere else to be now.
And is that enough?
Very good.
Simple.
The main thing I need is a 10 gold or 10 steel piece worth of charcoal, insects, and herbs, and a brass brazier.
Then you're going to need more than one.
That's deposit, and we'll be back in the morning
with 9 more. Indeed.
9 more.
Shilin is contemplating just like shoplifting some stuff, but she resists.
I lean over to your.
How many do you need again?
I only got 15 in total.
Excuse me, madam. I forgot your name. I do apologise, but
My name is
would you be
Wyvern.
interested in? Would you be interested in purchasing a possibly magical oddity that
Indeed.
might help
That is
put
my
some money
shop.
towards Fizz's requirements? It's and he pulls out this black candle from his bag. Flynn does, and he goes, "Yeah, this is a candle, but it cannot be lit by any means." I know it sounds a bit rubbish, but I thought someone so intelligent as you might be able to figure it out, and it's a nice little puzzle for you to try and figure out. And I just hand it to her.
And she takes it. Indeed. This is quite a curiosity. Very well. I will provide you with the pieces in exchange for the candle and the steel piece.
He just like, he beams at Hawk, and he's just like, thank you.
No worries, Fizz. Consider it a graduation gift of sorts.
He like
Well
smiles.
done.
He's like, I'm gonna go shave. I hate this thing.
May I suggest the goatee? I think it would suit you.
Okay.
And
if you're not going to buy anything else, you can get out.
You don't need to take a scroll anywhere then.
No, it's done. It's simply done.
He just nods. Whatever you guys need to. Thank you to you guys. Thank you. I needed this.
You're welcome, Fizz.
And he like clutches the brazier. He's like, I'm gonna go shave.
I think you should just leave that here for now, Fizz, and we'll collect it in the morning. You've just graduated as a full-blown wizard. I think we need to celebrate.
I think I want to take you out, Fizz.
Yeah, first round's on you, Fizz. Come on.
What do you mean?
Well, we
To
can all go
celebrate.
and celebrate you being a wizard.
Mm.
Oh, is that like sandwiches or something?
If
No.
you want, if you want sandwiches,
this
you
is
can
gonna
have
be good.
sandwiches.
Yeah, and he looks at you. He's like, I'll follow your lead.
Okay, come on. I know this place. It's very special. So we go out the shop, and we're going to head across town to the other side of the castle. Just to the right of the castle, there's a round or oval shaped building. If Dave's putting the map.
I'm trying to find the map for you. Okay.
Okay, so we're going to head to that sort of oval shaped building, 2nd Street over to the right of Castle Kalaman.
Yep.
And that is a tavern in Kalaman, and it's called the Bell and Compass.
Ooh.
Bell and Compass is famous because it has 4 entrances each at the cardinal points of the compass: north, south, east, and west. And if you go in the south entrance and ring the bell on the way in, it's said to bring you luck. So Fizz, what I want you to do is ring that bell as we go through the door.
Oh, you're muted.
Can I reach that?
Probably not.
Okay, cool. I then he looks at it, looks at you, and he's just like, and then he like thinks for a second, goes like puts his hand to the wand, and as he like throws up those silver strands, there is a hint of red to it, and you watch as it like crackles a little bit with it's almost like not quite lightning, but it starts as a storm and then turns into like a bloody mist over like the strands of the silver, and it forms into this like ethereal hand as he casts Mage Hand, and it goes up and he just like bing 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 bing. So it's like we're gonna need, and he like looks, he's like we're gonna need a lot of luck.
We are, Fizz. We are. So this tavern, it's round, like I said, and it's got a raised walk around the outside. So it's like sitting on little stilts. The walls are all bright green, big wooden doors, and the sign is of a compass with a bell underneath at the south entrance where we're going in. So it looks a bit like and the roof is tiled, bright red tiles. So it's a bit of a clash of colours. And as we're heading towards the place, you can see from distance, I'll say, so we are going to go here, and they serve a very, very special drink. It's a fizzy bubble drink, and we're going to have this fizz in honour of you. And I believe I remember the name. It's called Campaign.
Campaign.
We're going to have lots of fizzy bubble drinks to celebrate you turning into a full-blown wizard, and I'm afraid you're going to have to tell us a story of why your robes have gone from white to red.
Yeah, and he'll take. I guess it comes in like a flute of some kind. I'm trying to think of the equivalent of a champagne flute for medieval time.
Very thin horns.
Yeah.
He sort of like holds it, and he's never drunk. He has no clue, and he's like smells it a little bit, and he like holds it on his lap for a little bit, and eventually, like as you guys start drinking, he'll like take a sip, and he's like, like as the like fizz hits his like tongue, and he'll start regaling you, and he'll tell you all about the 3 moons and how they are usually depicted as the different orders of the robes, and how you have Solinari the white, Lutari the red, and Nutari the black, and they depict the color robes and the order of robes that you end up being part of as you take this journey. It's something his dad never did, and it's something that he didn't know really much about, this being from Sandcrest, and it wasn't until Ispen came along and it after his dad had disappeared and said, you know, you're strong with magic like your dad, but being unregistered isn't great. You should really go and get registered. So, and that's where I was on his journey to begin with when I happened across you guys. And and how in the past couple of days, like it's been so important to him as a personal journey to like follow the Order of the White Robes and help people like his mum and his dad did. But he feels somewhat ashamed of himself because going to the Red Robes means that it's not necessarily about helping people. It's not necessarily that the White Robes are always about helping people, because they can still do evocation magics and they can still do necromancy and stuff like that, but they tend to be more selfless people. And he feels like he's gone a bit selfish because he feels like he's somewhat forced to go to the Red Robes, but also at the same time, because of the choices he's made and how he's acted, this is something that's happened. And he now understands that, and he'll explain that, like, in that moment where I let my anger go and I conjured the sword when Bakaris stabbed us in the back, and that probably sealed my fate. But if it's what's right for us and it's what's right for the group moving forwards, then... And he, like, takes a big, big swig of champagne. Oh, sorry, of campaign. And he's like... Osiris dress moth, this says.
Escalaris of Mythos.
That's the one. And he just knocks it back again. He will get as much in him as he can tonight.
It's a bit too bubbly for me, York. I've had this stuff before, except when I had it called shampoo.
Champagne.
I guess I'll have a little bit as well, but Grom will definitely watch himself as he's drinking to try to still keep his mind about him, but definitely is partaking.
Yeah. Shilin has a little sip as well. She's rather elegant, almost too elegant than what you expect her to be. It's like, oh.
Is the pinky out?
Yeah.
So, Grom, you did surprise me a little bit that you took the oath, actually.
I did.
Yeah, I didn't take you for military. You're a fine fighter, by no doubts, but like Hawk, I thought you followed your own path.
Well, I do, but I felt taking the pledge was the right thing to do in the moment for the people. And I'll pause. And I've taken other pledges as well in my life, so wasn't a first. I'll just kind of lean back, take another drink.
Are you referring to the badge that Vendry talked about, the Kiri Joloth?
Kiri Jolith, yeah, yes. And I'll pull out the emblem. This one here, yes. Something very special to me.
Why don't you tell us about it?
Tell you about Kiri?
Yeah.
Well, one day I stumbled upon a stone enclosure, and there was a large tree. It was quite a beautiful place, and I went inside, and there was a special moment where Kiri appeared to me, believe it or not. And do I get any reaction from folks when I say that?
From this group or from other people around?
Yeah, I'm just talking. Yeah, just the table. Yeah, no, I'm not talking too loud. Just right to the table.
Fizz.
Not from me. No. Oh, actually, yes, a little bit from me.
Yeah, Fizz sort of smiles at you in this kind of like still sad way, but still smiling, and he's like, and he looks at, actually he'll turn to Hawk because something he had told. He's like, we all get powers from different places. This is just your way.
Yep.
And he turns back to you when he says, this is just your way. And he just, I think at this point he'd like throw out some dancing lights because he's a few campaigns in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I knew there was something special about you, Grom. I knew it.
Well, thank you, Hawk.
So, does this mean, Grom, that you have other abilities, not just in wielding a weapon?
Not just flaming fists either. I did see that, by the way.
Your magic.
Oh yeah, I saw that last week. 'Cause he was still wasn't he? Yeah,
You've all forgotten. You've all been having too much campaign.
Yeah, Grom was a lot of help when we fought that in the rear. And there's a pause, and his voice trembles with sadness for a minute. It's like we're in the reenactment, and he's like thinking back to that first horrible scene. And there's a pause, and he kind of shakes off. He's like, he was assisting us. Yeah, you managed to. I don't know. I saw it. Your magic from behind that wall. You aided some, and you helped. You made the enemy weaker in places. It was amazing. Inspirational.
Thank you, Fizz. Well, that comes from Kiri, believe it or not. And I've had other abilities as well. Mashakal. You've heard of Mashakal before?
Have we heard of Mishako before?
Yes.
They're all ancient gods.
Three cataclysm gods.
Exactly, yeah.
Okay.
There's all fables, story times. Again, it's like us. There are various kind of philosophies, gods, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
So you've heard the name. You've never met anyone who was a follower.
Well, she's provided me other powers as well for healing, but kind of looking down, sort of get a little sad. I don't believe I can follow that path anymore, and I'm not sure that she'll have me. I feel bad about that. Especially after what she did for my sweet Lilith. And I'll just kind of look down, take a bigger drink, like kind of suck it down a little bit.
Fizz is staring at you now with like teary eyes. He's like, maybe. And he looks around the group and he's just like, I don't know if fate's a thing. I don't know if we're supposed to be together. And he looks straight at you, Grom, and he's just, maybe we were following paths we weren't supposed to be on. And he looks down at his now red robes. Maybe we're meant for something else. And he looks across at Hawk and at Shilling. And he just sighs, and then grabs somebody else's drink because his is empty, and just stops minesweeping. And just
Barkeep, another round.
Yeah, Shilling's like, yeah, can we refill? Thank you.
Keep coming.
Another tray comes over. Start taking the empties.
Yeah.
More nuts, roasted potatoes, spiced potatoes. There you go.
And I have to say, Shilling, do you mind me asking if that's a nickname?
It is, yes.
You seem more than comfortable in a setting such as this. Honestly, you look like you're more used to ballrooms and fancy dining establishments, I suppose.
I was. I grew up in a very privileged lifestyle initially, but after that sentimental item was taken from me and I had to recover it, I then embarked on, say, a career of recovering other people's stolen possessions, and that's how I became the Shilling I am today. Boarding ships, tracking down thieves, and getting back people's possessions that belong with them.
So you still to return?
Of course, yes. People shouldn't take things that aren't theirs.
And Fizz will look at you with that, and he's like, so you did wrong to do right?
Yeah. I'm like a bounty hunter, but for valued possessions, let's say.
And he's sort of like, I guess if the end justify the means.
Yeah. You don't need an oath to do good.
He sort of sits back in his chair.
You don't need an oath to do good, though. It's right, but I'm not always sure the end justifies the means.
Shouldn't just like Riley laughs.
Yeah, within reason. Anyway, that's where I met you, wasn't it, Shilling? That's where I met you.
All on board the ships.
On board
gallivanting
the ships.
around.
Yes.
Shilly strokes like a necklace under her top, but no one can see what it is. She just nervously touches it and then takes another sip.
She's a good lass. Very good on a ship. Very good in a fight as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. Glad you're with us.
Thank you. I'm glad you are with us too, Flynn.
And he nods, and he's like, yeah, you are very bold. He smiles, and he's like, he looks at York, and he's like, I know that you said that you both came from the same night school, I think you said it was. But brothers may be very different when you meet them, but you can tell when they come from the same place. And he sort of smiles, and at this point he's pretty hammered. And he's just like yeah, and he's just like smiling at you both, and he's just I'm very grateful. And he just stares at you, Flynn. He's like, you find the best in a situation. You always seem to be happy.
Yeah, well, yeah, it took a long time for me to get that way, but thanks to a captain I used to have. He's no longer with us now, though. It's one of the reasons that I'm not at sea at the moment, actually, because Captain Gregor, his name was, and see, I was on this ship called the Kraken, and all the rest of the crew decided it would be a good idea to mutiny against the captain. And to be honest, he was like a father figure to me after I left the night school and ran off to sea. He took me under his wing and he taught me about how to be, I know it's going to sound like an oxymoron, but a good pirate. And believe it or not, we never used to steal from nobody who didn't have it coming.
Exactly. So, Shilling raises a glass to that.
And yeah, the crew killed him. Stuck me on a dinghy with no food or water, and it took me 6 days till I found a passing ship who took me on board, and then brought me back to Vogler. And then that was just before I got the letter, sort of thing. So, yeah, but I vowed to find the Kraken again and exact my revenge on the crew, but I don't know if that's ever going to happen. So I've decided that drink, adventure, and always look on the bright side of life.
The ends justify the means.
I still don't agree.
No, it's got no. You've got to live with a code, and my code is good above all else. As long as the outcome is good or you're doing good. But I don't live by the laws, as you know. You know, some might call me an engine of chaos, but you know, as long as the outcome is good, that's my moral code.
I guess that's where I have the biggest problem, because how do you know if you're doing good if you're not following any rules? You're claiming them to have the foresight of supreme power. We're just people.
But then we go back to Shilling, who she was stealing. Stealing's wrong, but she was stealing from people that stole to give back to people who had the things stolen from. So she was doing wrong to do right. And if you can, and then you can see him like trying to talk his way out. And if this one, it
all balances out in the end. It's fine.
I'll give you another example. Before the crew mutinied on the Kraken, we made a good living out of attacking slave ships, robbing them of their gold and setting the slaves free. Some might say that was bad because we were stealing from people, but you know, we were following a moral code. There's nothing good about slavery, so we tried to do our bit to end it. So, but some might say that's outside the law, but for me, it was a good result at the end of the day. And you see Flynn with that stands up and walks off to the bar, and he gets a big bottle of rum from behind the bar. And for some reason, the barman don't even stop him, and he just sits down at the bar and he starts downing it. That's actually a background trait, you see. I can get away with small misdemeanors, like not paying for meals or drinks and stuff.
As he does this, I'll get up and I'll set my drink down on the table and go over to Flynn. You know, Flynn, I didn't want to, bring it up when we were all over there at the table, telling stories and whatnot. But Have you heard anything from your sister?
Yes. No, not yet. But I know she's here because I saw her on the boat. I'm going to go find her in the morning. She'll be all right. She's very resourceful.
Good.
When I used to come back to port, I taught her everything I'd learned, so she's very resourceful. No doubt, she's probably already set up a trading post outside the walls, and she's making a fortune. Anyway, have some of this. Put hairs on your chest.
I'll take the bottle and I'll just take a little bit. Put it back down. Kind of. Oh well, that is mighty strong.
Good man.
It's good to hear that your sister's doing all right. I was worried there.
I'll get word to her. I'll ask one of the messengers to go and check on her in the morning. So I'm not sure we're going to have time to do anything like that. So I think we might need to get to action quite quickly after we've done a shopping spree in the morning.
Are you back at the table, or are you still at the bar?
Oh no, I'm shouting across.
We just hear him.
I just turn around and I go like, "Yo!"
Yeah.
I'll wander over with one of the slowly emptying campaign bottles that Fizz has been knocking back, and I'll carry it over and I'll just say, look, the reason I said to do this is because I just want to get Fizz completely and utterly wasted. He's taken this badly. He needs rest. He's exhausted. So I've seen you fall down drunk, Flynn. We need to get him fall down drunk. And I'll just pick up the bottle of rum off the bar and start pouring a little bit of it into the campaign before I return. Pour Fizz another glass.
Yeah, and I think at this point he's just like, you've found him in this weird, like, if he's reminded of any of the past battles, he like takes a moment. You can see the tears, and he's trying to hold it back, and the lip trembles. But then, like, if you get him talking about magic, he's like opening the spell book and he's showing you how runes work, and he's like, "Yeah, you draw this one right here," and like, and he's like trying to show you like all these. None of it will be legible. Like none of it, like, because it's all just runes, and he's drunk, and it's just like he's like, yeah, and then tomorrow, the brazier. We'll have a friend. He then, this is a good one, and then he knocks the drink that you give him back, hiccups, and he begins to cast a spell using his final second level slot. Let me just mark it off. There we go.
This drunken spellcasting against the law. I'm not.
You watch as he like takes this like silver from the wand that's like got this red mist that like roils out with it now, and it kind of like floats, almost like dust in a fish tank when it like silts across the bottom. It lands on the floor, and you watch as like from the wood this like earth starts to like come up through it as he casts Maximilian's Earthen Grasp, and it happens underneath him, but then it like forms into a hand, and he just like lays down and falls asleep on it.
Everyone's got a mate who does that when they're drunk.
Problem is, it's a concentration spell, and as soon as he falls asleep, it disappears, and he just hits the floor but doesn't wake up.
I'll grab him as quickly as I can, try and stop him from waking up.
Sorry,
yeah.
I was going to say to Dave, like, I am very happy to say that, like, even after a long rest, being that drunk, to take a point of exhaustion for the next day.
I'm glad you said that. I was thinking along the similar lines. Depending on how drunk you get.
He's never drank before and is properly gone.
You will have 2 levels of exhaustion.
I'll take him.
And a really nasty hangover.
Awesome. When do you want me to click that long rest button?
So as soon as he basically falls, I'll grab him. And then I'll just look to the other and say, it's probably time to get some rest. I just want to make sure that Fizz didn't dwell too much on what's happened so far.
Good shout, York.
Yeah.
Well done. Shall we head back to the castle?
Yes.
Let's do it.
So I grab the bottle of rum off the bar and I say, I thank you all for your food and drink, and I leave you with this piece of life lesson. Never rob another man's rhubarb. Goodbye. Okay.
So you make your way back to your quarters, your ballroom that you've been given in Kalaman Castle, and you pretty much all collapse into your cots. Whether you want to put Fizzwiz to bed first, it's up to you. Maybe get him a bowl to the side of the bed just in case. You can all hit the long rest button. You all need it. Apart from Fizzwiz, because he's going to get a long rest, but he's also going to wake up with 2 levels of exhaustion.
Yep.
In the morning, the light of dawn is shining through the window, and suddenly the double doors to your ballroom burst open, and an over-enthusiastic, let's see if I've got in here, check my pictures, see if I can find it. I don't know why they've all turned green in the background, but anyway, an over-enthusiastic Darrett, young Darrett, burst into the room. So, guys,
Got a potato in his hand.
That's what I was thinking.
He's always got his pasty. Yeah.
Oh,
He's always got his pasty. Burst into the room. So, guys, it's you've got to come to Marshal Vendry's office. We've got to come on, get dressed. It's time. We've got you've got your first mission.
Oh, bleary-eyed and like, what? That's so early.
What? Technically, it's only me and Grom that need to report for duty, isn't it?
Yeah, because we haven't taken the oaths. It's all fine. We can have a line.
But you're still part of the team. So either those two have to go, or you all go. So those two,
right.
at least Jorg might
right.
be up and awake and vertical for the break of dawn. Grom might be if he's doing any prayers or anything. But anyone else, yeah, you're going to get rudely awakened.
Yeah,
nicely rudely awakened because it's Darren.
Yeah.
I was going to say, yeah, if the doors burst open, it explodes the light. It's like,
So you see,
I don't feel so good.
You see Flynn stand up, like bolt upright, and go, Fizz, have a whiff of this.
No, don't do it. Don't do it.
You're gonna need a bigger bowl.
Get it all out.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm
into
out.
the hat, and then that's it over his head. No, he looks bad. He's just like.
Shilin will just open the
Give me that
window and take
pasty.
some deep breaths of fresh air just to steady herself.
And I'll just sit up on the side of the bed, plant my feet, and just like, just kind of looking down. Is Jorg like doing like sword yoga over in the corner?
Doing
Like,
press ups,
I'm cleaning my armor and
warming
weapons.
himself up.
The bed is already pressed and made,
Yeah.
military style. There is a chest at the end of each of your beds, so you can always store stuff in there if you want to. You don't have to carry everything that's around. You have a storage area.
I make sure I keep all of my liquor in Jorg's footlocker.
Okay.
How many bottles have you
notice I've
stashed
been
in there
using-
so far?
I've been using your
I've
rum to
got
clean
at
my
least
sword.
2 bottles of rum. At least 2 bottles of rum in there, and the one I'm holding as well. Oh, okay, Darren. What is that breakfast you bought us there, mate? Oh, I could do with some of that.
Well, no, this is mine. Your stuff's in the kitchen. Anyway, Marshal Vendry, she wants us. Let's go.
Oh,
I'll lead the way.
okay. Let's go.
all right, up
Yeah.
and about.
Was that you
Darren,
chundering?
Darren manages to get you all down the corridor, up the flight of stairs to Marshal Vendry's office, which is a bit spare. It holds little more than basically a desk heaped with. Oh, I've still got the tavern music playing. We get rid of that.
We're still hearing it.
Fizz
We might
don't need that one
avoid
anymore.
it. for listening.
Oh, this is all over the
Ringing
place.
in our ears.
So we got as I said, Marshall's Vengeance. It's very, very bare. It holds little more than a desk, which is heaped up with all these documents. There are shelves filled with rolled scrolls, and a board similar to what you've got, which is pinned a map of the surrounding province of Nightland. Vendry stands as you enter. She stands up from her desk and says, thank you for coming. I won't mince words, but do you remember the documents that you arrived with? There was several letters. Do you remember those?
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, one of them was from Wheelwatch. Do you remember reading that?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
It was the one we found on the first Draconian fight, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
From Olin, the commander of Willwatch Outpost.
It was the commander, yes. Now, I'm just trying to find. There it is. She hands the letter over to you, Yorg.
Okay.
Would you read it again?
1 week. 1 week since the creatures swept down on us in numbers too vast to count. It feels like a decade. Everything is upside down. They're everywhere. We've avoided the bulk of their forces, but their patrols scour the countryside for resistance to subdue and goods to plunder. We've heard rumours that these monsters are called Draconians. Even in death, these reptilian warriors cause misery, exploding in gouts of acid or plumes of gas. Be careful. Even if we survive, the invaders, we don't have enough to eat, and little planting is being done in the surrounding lands with armies on the march. How do we live through a year with no harvest? I don't know how long we'll hold out or who will read this. I only hope that these words serve as a warning to someone. And that's from Olin Naled, the commander at Willwatch Outpost.
Now, Willwatch Outpost stands near the border with the land of Estwald. Now, the fort used to supply Kalaman's forces that patrol the border. Now, we know it's been taken by what we are now calling the Dragon Army. The fort lies 24 miles southeast of our city. I want you to go there. You're going to take a small regiment along with Raven, and you will, by any means necessary, take back that fort. Any questions?
Biz sort of like holds his hand up and he goes, Mayor Raven, why? She's not a soldier, is she?
She has military experience. Now the problem is most of our forces are gearing up, preparing the city. Now we can spare a small regiment.
How big is small?
10.
Including us, or
A regiment of 10 led by your Mayor Raven, and in addition, you. Now we know the outpost.
I'll look at your 10. Is that going to be enough?
Depends what the objective is.
There were loads in Vogler. There were so many, and there's almost panic in his voice. Like, there were hundreds, there were more. They had dragons. They were flying. 10.
Calm down, Fizz. Let's hear him out.
Yeah, it depends what the objective is. If we have to rout their force and take back the tower, then 10 may not be enough. If we're to go there and destroy the tower, and therefore starve the invading force of those resources and that strategic point, then a smaller team would be better. We can sneak in unnoticed, maybe.
Indeed, York. That is my thinking. That is exactly why I believe that you will be supporting your Mayor Raven. Now, the Wheel Watch Fort itself has 2 main gates, north and south. On the inside, there is the gate switch. I've already spoken to Mayor Raven about this, but I believe if you can get in to the fort by any means necessary, raise one of the gates, then your Mayor Raven will be able to bring in the reinforcements. It is a dirty job, but I'm sure you can do it.
So we are going to take the tower back then.
Yeah, it doesn't sound like blowing it up.
You will take it back. And when you succeed, Mayor Raven will be stationed there. And additional troops will be sent.
So get the door open. Let in the 10. We're done.
Indeed. Simple. Effective. Swift. Yes, Hawk.
Do we have any intel on like how many are there or anything? Even a vague idea?
No. That is going to be your job. You're going to go there, survey the situation, make your plans, execute your recommendation, open the gate, and Mayor Raven and her contingent will take control.
Is Mayor Raven in the room?
Yep, she's there.
And sort of like green-faced Fizz kind of looks at you like, do you think that you're up to it? Do you think that if we can scout ahead that you and the 10 or the 9 can hold the ground?
And she looks down at you, and you've never in the time that you've known Mayor Raven, who's always been very bubbly, smiley, happy. She is dressed in leather armor, top to toe. She has a dagger on one hip and a long sword on the other. And she turns to face you. That happiness, that smile, that gleam in her eye is gone.
Mm.
And she goes, I have taken the oath. I am no longer your mayor, or the mayor of Vogler. Vogler is no more. Maybe after the war we can rebuild it. But for now, I am simply Raven. And I will take back this fort because we must.
But that moment, I had to, when I during the escape from Vogler, when are you going to be okay?
I will be, and she stands up even straighter, and she takes a deep breath, and you see there's a resolution, and she draws strength from that resolution that she's made her decision, and she says yes.
And he kind of like smiles. Yeah, he smiles, and he would have like I guess he hasn't shaved yet, but he smiles and he's like, I guess we've got a job to do. And he'll pull the hat up and
Marshal Vendry stands up behind a desk and says, right, let's settle then. You will leave within the hour. Horses are ready. And we'll find out what happens in the next episode.
How?
They're gonna die.
How many men do you normally have stationed at the outpost?
Good stealth mission.
Let's find out.
You've got to start the next episode with Steve saying how.
How?
How?
We start the next episode outside.
When you said a regiment,
a small hill. Yeah.
When you said a regiment, I was like, oh, we're getting some in troops.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you're like 10. I was like, oh, real big regiment then. Yeah, cool.
Yeah. And the scrappiest little soldiers
you
they
meant
could
squad.
like commit to.
Yeah, I was like,
it's a squad,
okay.
and they are all green, all inexperienced.
As far as I'm concerned,
great.
that is 2 NPC shields each. That is 18 points of basic soldier hit points to hide behind.
Yeah.
Human shields.
And they're all wearing red.
Awesome.
They are all wearing red.
Oh crap! I'm wearing red.
Well, you're definitely wearing red. They're wearing bright blue and gold, but we'll see.
Oh, well,
We'll see how well they
so
do.
the only red shirt we've got is Fizz.
So between now and next session, in 2 weeks' time, we will be back into combat. So thank you very much for. How did you find this without doing combat? Because we've had some big fights, but yeah.
Well, D&D's all about the RP.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's amazing.
Yeah.
Everyone got to give something else about their character as well, which I love learning about people's characters and PCs and stuff like that. So yeah.
Well, because obviously I know like all the little bits and pieces, and I can see the lines and dots starting to be drawn now. But okay, yeah, and people are starting to give a lot more comfortable sharing about their characters, which you don't really do in episode 1 or like a session 0 anyway, because you don't want to give too much away.
Yeah.
But now you've been through quite an experience already. This is setting up chapter 2. Which will be quite interesting to see where this goes. And yeah, I mean, that was good, especially the whole bit in the tavern. I just sat back and just enjoyed it. That was great. That's brilliant. I think we have to try and work out more of that. Why I just sit back and tune in. That's great.
Awesome.
Cool.
So, right. So offline planning and raiding of armory for next time.
So between now and then, if there's anything you need from the again, mundane weapons and items, mundane weapons and armor, you can grab from the castle. So stock up if you need to. If you mentioned you were going to go back to the apothecary to pick up some stuff, and Grom, you mentioned trying to find some medicine.
Yeah, potions and whatnot at the oddities.
Yeah, so we can let's do that offline between now and next session. But we work out what it is you actually pick up. You can always send a messenger to pick it up and bring it back to the castle.
Yeah, I'm a squire now.
Darren.
Yes, hire someone else to do it. One of the inexperienced soldiers that you're going to go out with.
Our lackeys.
Is Darrett one of the 10?
Say again?
Is Darrett one of the 10?
No, I don't believe he is. But Darrett's position, as you're going to find out, is he is working for Marshal Vendry, and Darrett's job will be to train new soldiers as they step up. So basically, men, women, children of age who want to fight, he will be training them. But he's also the kind of go-between. So he is, I guess, he is your runner. So he will bring you missions and orders from Marshal Vendry. So Darrett will still be kind of around, being Darrett.
Cool.
Yeah, that's good.
Sweet Darrett.
With his Cornish pasties.
Yeah.
Protect Darrett at all costs.
Pasty munching Darrett, yeah.
If Darrett has to make it to the end of the campaign, that's all that matters now.
That's all that matters.
Yes, to stay alive.
We go through 5 characters each.
Yeah.
He's got to survive.
Darrett, the pasty smasher.
Yeah.
Darrett dies, and we're all in tears.
Chokes on the pasty.
Oh, if Darrett dies, this is going full necromancer, full lich lord, raise the dead.
Bring him back.
He's gonna you'll see Fizzbits just sort of flying across the ground.
Eyes glowing red.
Yeah.
Just like speaking in primordial, like.
Let's make it happen. We should do that. Right. Anyway.
Oh my god.
Thank you for joining us. If you enjoyed that, please do like and subscribe. We're just kind of hanging out, doing something silly at the end of the week, playing some games because we enjoyed it. That's what we're here for. Thank you again to Steve for pushing the right button. You can find us on youtube.com/bandofbadgers. Check out all the goodies from Beetle and Grimm's as well. We love everything they do. Plus we get to
Not the right one. Sorry.
we get to game test a lot of stuff from Beetle and Grimm's, which is lovely. So we love doing bits and pieces with them. You'll find our names in many of the books now, which is great, including the there it is, including the Game Master's Journal. So do pick it up. It's a lot of fun. it is a journal. It's a proper notepad. You can put all your campaign notes and everything in there. Who owes you money and who your next is going to be on the kill list.
And if you subscribe to the Banderbadge YouTube, they're going to send you one for free. There you go. Said it here first.
I'll tell you. There you go. You can have mine. There you go. Can it fit? Oh, it can't fit.
You get
Oh,
one. You get one. You get one.
Does it fit through the rectangle?
Yeah.
Nice.
I tell you what. If you come to UK Games Expo, you get custard cream. There you go.
There you go. Get that for free.
Peanut
Right.
M&M.
Exactly. We're gonna leave that there now. I'll see you all again soon. I was gonna itch my eye. Go on, Steve.
Just ramble for like 5 seconds longer.
5 seconds. I can do 5 seconds ramble. That's really easy. So at UK Games Expo, there's loads of stuff going on. We are going to be playing D&D, well, kind of 5e with Luke Gygax. We're playing We've entered the UK Alien RPG tournament, championship tournament. We've entered that, and we're meeting loads of people, Ultra Pro, guys from Free League. Who else are we meeting? Loads of people. Steamforge Games, WizKids, Wizards. Everyone's going to be there. Paizo, Alex Speedo from Paizo is going to be over there. And on the Sunday, we are playing a game with Alex Kamer, who owns GameHoldCon. He's coming over. We're playing D&D with him. So we've got a ton of fun going on. You check out all of our socials. Sign up to them all because we don't know where we're going to do things yet. Some of the stuff's going to be live broadcast. There's going to be loads of videos and shorts and photos of all kinds of things. So do follow that. We ready, Steve?
We are ready.
Right, that's next time. See you in 2 weeks. Bye.
Bye.